What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And today, guys, we're going to talk about the top 10 free-to-play characters in Marvel Strike Force. So, yeah, of course, this game is expensive, but in my opinion, there are some good characters that are farmable, that are accessible, that you can go after getting here, that are top-tier characters in Marvel Strike Force. So, we're going to be talking about that here today in this video. And, of course, yes, we are going to talk about some honorable mentions as well. We can't forget about those, guys. But let's not tarry any longer. Let's get into it right now. All right, y'all. Welcome back. And like I said, we're going to be going through the top 10 free-to-play characters in Marvel Strike Force. We're going to talk about where you can use these characters, what makes them so great, all those things here today, guys. But let's dive into it. First, this is going to be in no particular order. The first character that I wanted to talk about is Captain America Sam. So first and foremost, where can you find him? He is in Doom Chapter 2.6. He's farmable there. If you're an earlier player, keep in mind that in order to be able to get to Doom Chapter 2 campaign, that you will need to at least get to level 75 first. And of course, you will need to finish Doom Chapter 1. And I do also believe that you need to finish Nexus Chapter 8 as well in order to be able to gain access to that. But yeah, I mean, phenomenal character. He's a part of the Doom skill raid meta. Also part of the Secret Avenger team, which is a top tier team in Marvel Strike Force that can be used in most game modes in the game with respect to probably Arena, right? That's probably the only place where that team is not used. Captain America Sam is probably a top 10 character in the game, period. Not just a top 10 free-to-play character, in my opinion. One of the better utility characters in the game, has a multifaceted kit, right? So it can clear positive effects with this basic. He can give defense up. He can give ability energy. He can taunt. He gives deflects, and he gives speed up to other skill and Avenger allies. He has a speed bar fill with his ultimate. Increase max health to himself and other skill and Avenger allies. It has amazing stats, right? I mean, obviously you can see I have him at G16, 898k health, still some pretty decent damage. Armor is pretty good, 27,000. Resistance is very good too, and because of those deflects that he gets, he doesn't really get a lot of negative effects applied to him. So yeah, I mean, great character in my opinion. He also unlocks Omega Red, and he was great in Dark Dimension for me, one of the top I think global characters in the game. So yeah, definitely for me shows up on this list. Next character for me is Shang-Chi. Now Shang-Chi just was made available to be target farmed in the Blitz store. Prior to that, he was a Blitz exclusive orb character, but now you can actually target farm Shang-Chi in the Blitz store. Yes, he's also another part of the raid skill meta as well. Great with the Secret Avengers team, right? So the main Doom skill raid team right now, you all know, is the Secret Avengers, Captain Sam, Maria Hill, Sharon Carter, Kestrel, and then you have Shang-Chi. He's an amazing character. Another one of the better plug-and-play characters, I think, in Marvel Strike Force. Insane amount of damage with his ultimate ability, which is a low cooldown, 3-turn cooldown. Wow. 450% damage plus 75% additional damage per positive effect, reducing the speed bar. I like his special. I think it's low-key a really good one too. His special ability, yes, does some damage. He'll heal himself and heal other heroes for higher allies, but he'll also heal the other allies too for 10% of his max health, and then he'll also clear at least one negative effect from all other allies too. So really kind of a nice little utility kit there. He'll also fill his own speed bar, which means that he'll be able to take more turns and then get back to this ultimate a little bit faster. So me personally, I like Shang-Chi as well. I think he's a recommended beginner character too. He does have this hero city tag also, which can be useful once you get to like level 70 as a beginner player. So for me, yeah, definitely on this list. And also, as you can see, I use him in Dark Dimension 5. I think you can use him in all Dark Dimensions, probably one of your top city options that you have available to you. So in my opinion, definitely does make his way on this list. All right, next character to talk about here is Sharon Carter. So she is available in the raid store. Players will always debate whether or not you should target farm characters in the raid store or whether or not you should open up raid orbs. I'm kind of on the notion that you should target farm characters in the Blitz store. Like if you're comparing stores, right? I think in the Blitz store you target farm characters because it's 500 credits. It's not that bad to target it, although that will take some time to accumulate as a beginner player. But if you're a veteran player, you have enough Blitz credits. Unless you're like a super sweaty whale war character, that can be a little bit more challenging. But yeah, I think in the raid store, because the cost is like 1,400 credits, probably better to go with raid orbs because there are a lot of characters in the raid orbs that's in the raid orb that are pretty good in my personal opinion. But yes, once again, she's a skilled Doom raid character. Great control kit, right? I mean, her special and her ultimate ability are amazing. Ultimate ability can clear positive effects, can apply stun and slow. She also hits adjacent targets and clears positive effects and gives slow as well. The special ability, this is the main one that you got a T4 on her for using her in the Doom raids, because you want that 2-turn ability block to be landed on Doom. But yeah, I mean, you can still use it outside of raids as well. I think if you're a beginner or earlier player and you get hands on Sharon Carter, you automatically have a good raid character that you can use. Her basic is also pretty good too, because you can apply slow, but when she does have Captain America Sam with her, she can reduce the speed bar by 25%, which is the reason why she's a striker, right? Because you want to be able to double tap and reduce the speed bar on the bonus attack too, not just the main, that's just the first hit. So yeah, and I liked her in Dark Dimension 5. I'm using her right now. I went with her over Maria Hill just because of the control. Yes, I like Maria Hill's healing, but the control of the stuns and the clearing the positive effects and the ability block with the defense downs, I don't know, that to me that was a lot more helpful than probably what Maria Hill would be. Although it was also just a gear situation, right? Like, hey, which character can I afford right now? I can afford Maria Hill. I can afford both Maria Hill and Sharon together. Which one is better for me? I went with the kit that had a little bit more control. That's the reason why I went with Sharon Carter here. But all right, next character on this list. Let's talk about that. Cloak. I think Cloak is another great character. He's also in the raid store as well. He's a Mystic Doom raid meta character, part of the the New Warriors team, alongside Deathpool and Dagger. Yes, his abilities are enhanced a little bit when you do have Dagger there, a lot bit when you do have Dagger there, and of course also when you have Deathpool. But even as an individual character, he still is going to provide some impact. His ultimate ability, unlike Dagger. So Dagger outside of Cloak won't apply these negative effects. She only does it when she is with Cloak. But Cloak himself can apply these negative effects with the ultimate, even outside of being along with Dagger. So you can apply 3 random negative effects. It can be blind, it can be defense down, it can be disrupted, offense down, slow. Like, you're getting those negative effects there. I like his special too, which can clear all positive effects on the primary target. It's a low cooldown. You're getting the slow, the defense down, and the offense down. And if you T4, you can get it for 2 turns. I haven't done it yet because it's a very low cooldown, and I typically get this back pretty fast, so I don't feel like I need it for the 2 turns. So that's the reason why I haven't T40 yet. But even his overall kit is solid too. Whenever he applies offense down in raids, he reduces his speed bar by 10%. I also like him for earlier players too, because he has the Hero City tag. The Hero City tag, like Shang-Chi, you'll need that for some of your challenges. For Block Party, once you get to Hero Chapter 7, you need Hero City characters in order to be able to get through that content. So I like him for that too. And yes, he was great in Dark Dimension. Would like to have used him with Dagger to be able to get some more additional damage there, but he was also pretty good in Dark Dimension 5 for me as well. All right, next character on this list is a Spider-Man. And I mean, he's a first given character that you get in the game, so fairly easy to get there. You can also get him and farm him in the Blitz store also. But the rework makes him pretty solid, right? With the Web Warriors team, obviously they're part of the Bio Doom raid meta, so therefore it makes him pretty useful, right? And pretty necessary to go after. I wouldn't say that he's fantastic outside of raids. In raids, he's amazing. I mean, he's really, really good in raids, but even outside of raids, he's still a pretty decent character as well. And because you get him so earlier on as a beginner player, I would definitely go after getting him. A lot of veterans, right? We're all getting solid experience from him in these Doom raids right now. And as you can see, I use him in Dark Dimension 5. No regrets bringing him into Dark Dimension 5. I regret Scarlet Spider a little bit. I brought Scarlet Spider in, and I brought in Ghost Spider. No regrets on Ghost Spider or Spider-Man. Scarlet Spider, I regretted a little bit, although I am benefiting from that now in Doom raids. But I thought that just because I think a character like Miles probably would have been better to go alongside Spider-Man. I think they work really well together, in my opinion, because of the speed bar and the speed up and then the speed bar fill that they both give. I thought that probably would have been a little bit better. And also Miles has a nice little control kit. But this is about Spider-Man. It's all about Spider-Man here. Like his defense now with his special. He also chains to other targets. He can apply slow. It's a low cooldown again, so you can get some solid usage out of that. His ultimate ability does a lot of damage and also stuns. So this could actually come in clutch in some of the matchups here that you're probably going to do earlier on in the game. Like I said, very useful for me in Dark Dimension. He also has that Hero City tag again, which makes him usable in some of the other game modes that players will need at the earlier stages of the game as well. So for me, definitely a character that's on this list. All right, next is the legendary Shuri, as Valley would say, right? But Shuri got to be on this list for me, man. I mean, she already had a great kit. And she's a permanent legendary character now, so you can get her easier. You can use Spider-Man, right? We just talked about, who has a Spider-Verse tag, in order to be able to unlock Shuri, right? So yeah, I mean, she's a good character. You also need the Wakandans and Shuri to do Chaos Theory, so that makes her pretty important. But I think as it stands right now, I think if you're looking at Dark Dimension 5, 4, 3, well, it's 5 and 4, where you need legendary characters, for the last nodes, I think it's basically right now, hands down, you can debate me on it. I think it's Shuri and the 4 Horsemen. I think that's literally what it is right now, right? It's Shuri and the 4 Horsemen. I love her kit. I mean, I always thought he had a great utility kit. She goes on turn 1 because she speeds up, right? She gives defense up to all allies for 2 turns. Incredibly clutch in the tech Doom raids. She also can generate ability energy. If that goes to the right person, especially in Doom raids, can have Doom pop off on turn 1, or just continue to try to build up Doom's ult again. I mean, that could be really good. It's at random, but the opportunity that's there is just amazing. Like I said, with her passive now, her max health has increased. Like, her stats have gotten significantly better. Previously, before, her boosted 40% health from that she gets from her kit, that was only available in raids, and now it's available outside of raids, so that makes her even more useful. What is also better outside of raids, that can be used outside of raids as well, is the fact that she now applies the deflects. So when self or any ally drops below 50% max health, she applies 3 deflect to that character. Now that is available outside of raids as well, which makes her, like I said, it just makes her one of the better plug and play utility characters for me in a Marvel Strike Force. Whenever she herself also gets defense up, she also does get ability energy, which means that she can kind of synergize pretty well with some other teams. So if you're looking at like Secret Avengers, right, and you might say, why am I making Secret Avengers? You can't use them in skill raids, but think about things like the Scourge event where you need global characters, right? So you may need to you can't use Kestrel, you can't use Kestrel, and you can't use Shang-Chi on that global team with the Secret Avengers in the Scourge event. You can use Shuri, and Shuri will synergize pretty well because she'll get defense up from Captain Sam. She can give defense up herself, which means that she'll get ability energy. She'll give defense up to them. She'll give them ability energy, and then when they get below 50% health, she'll be able to apply deflects to them. And of course, Maria Hill will heal a character, right? Whenever they block, she'll heal that character. So I mean, there's some pretty solid synergy that's there, in my opinion, that could definitely work. But of course, Shuri's on this list. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's move on to the next character. Next character for me is Maria Hill, who we were just talking about. By the way, let's jump back to Shuri. Do not T4 her basic. I did this for Dark Dimension 3. Do not do it. I don't even think you need her ulti. I think the only T4 that you really need on Shuri is actually her passive. The ult is actually kind of nice though. And if you're doing Cosmic Crucible, you care about it a lot, the extra ability energy for Wakanda and allies could also be good too, but just don't do her basic. All right, Maria Hill on the list for me. She's probably one of the primary characters that you want to farm in the War Store. As a beginner player or earlier player, I definitely think that you're going to want to go in that direction. She, once again, being a part of the Secret Avenger team, is a part of the skilled Doom Raid meta. Secret Avengers also unlock Omega Red along with Winter Soldier and Nick Fury, so you definitely will want to invest into her anyways for that. But yeah, and of course, Doom skill meta, she's currently a part of that right now. She's a solid support character too. We talked about her passive, right? Unself or any ally block, 50% chance to heal the most injured ally by 25% of this character's max health. So that's the reason why I mentioned, as a global team or global characters, using the Secret Avengers with Shuri, I think is a good place to go if you're looking at these Scourge events here. And also for Dark Dimension 3 too. If you're thinking about Dark Dimension 3, you don't have to, there's no legendary section there. So you can use Secret Avengers with Shuri as a part of your Dark Dimension 3 team too. So there's some options that are there as well. But yeah, I like Maria Hill, good support kit. She can clear positive, clear negative effects off Avengers and skill allies. She does have the shield tag. So for your Doom Chapter 1 campaign, you will need the last 3 nodes to be able to unlock and farm Negasonic to unlock Doc Ock, or so you can farm to unlock Doc Ock. She does have the shield tag, so you can actually use her in the last 3 nodes. So she provides some solid help for you there as well. But we're kind of rushing through this list now because I'm seeing the time here. But next character on the list for me is going to be Squirrel Girl. So you could use her, if you can find her in Nexus 4-3. The reason why she's on this list is because I think the Young Avengers are trending up. They're a good team outside of just war defense. They've done phenomenally well in the Scourge event. They've done well in Avengers Tower. They've done well in Cosmic Crucible. This is a team that's trending up, in my opinion, that a lot of us probably slept on, myself included, right? You'll need the Young Avenger team for the next Scourge event for Famine to unlock Rogue anyway, so you're going to want to farm her, right? Apart from that, though, she's a great support character. Her special ability can clear all negative effects from all allies. She can also heal. She'll also heal for 15% of her max health. Her ultimate ability can apply heal block and offense down to all enemies, so you can find some solid usage there. Basic can also apply offense down to, and you know, or she has the Hero City tag again, so therefore if you want to use her for some of that content, you can definitely find some value for there too. I had someone mention or ask me the question whether or not you could use Squirrel Girl in a Dark Dimension 5. I'm not sure about that. I feel like they're probably, your warriors are probably a little bit more of a better option because you're using them in Doom raids. So I would probably prioritize that. I don't know if I would go that direction. I don't know if I would hate it if somebody did it, but I'm not quite sure that she's Dark Dimension viable in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much basically it in regards to Squirrel Girl there. The next character on the list is Baron Zemo. So Baron Zemo is a character that you can also get in the raid store. Still useful as a plug and play character. He was useful, a lot more useful with the Eternals arena meta. Now you're kind of starting to see him fall off a little bit, but he's fell off and then came back and fell off and come back again. So there's a possible chance that you may come back. I still think that for an earlier player though, that if you're looking at, let's say, your early arena meta, right? So if you're doing some content, I think he's an early enough character that you can get from the raid store that can be helpful in the arena meta for you. Not going to be long lasting, I think, but at least you could kind of get some good solid usage out of him, because on turn 1 he blows up, he clears positive effects. You can get him to also on turn 1 apply ability block. He completely assassinates minion characters. For a beginner player, if you're looking at getting to level 70 and being able to do villains chapter 7, they're villains. You will need to use either Hydra characters or Sinister 6 characters or AIM characters in order to be able to get through villains 7-1, 7-2, and 7-3. He has the Hydra tag. He can synergize. You can do some pretty good damage there because of all the minions that are in those nodes. So he provides some solid options for you there. If you care about the ISO campaign, he does have the global tag, so you can also use him there too. He can also be a nice little plug and play raid character that you could use for some of the, like maybe a node or two as well for some earlier players. So I don't know where Zemo lands for me right now. He's still very usable for my roster. I use him I use him at least 3 or 4 times a week for war. 3 times a week for war. So I'd still do find some value there. I wouldn't want to not build him up, but maybe he's starting to phase out a little bit because of the Darkhold arena. Maybe he'll come back a little bit later on as things start to kind of change up. So I'll still leave him on this list for right now. And then last character on the list for me here is Miss Marvel. Once again, I mean, the Young Avengers are trending up. I think she's one of the earlier easy characters to kind of get. For early enough character that you can get. She's a 15 shard unlock. She's in the Mystic 2-6 campaign. She also has that Hero City tag, but she also has the Brawler tag as well. And because of this passive ability, she synergizes very well with other brawlers. So she gains assists now. on each Young Avenger or Hero Brawler ally's turn. And then unturned, she also grants assist now to a random Young Avenger or Hero Brawler ally. So we talked about some of those Hero Brawlers already, like Shang-Chi and Spider-Man. And of course, Squirrel Girl has a Young Avenger tag, so that means that she'll be able to apply and divvy out some of those assists pretty easily too, or pretty nicely too. Hero City tab means that she can also be used for your block party or challenges, things of that nature as well. And if you're willing to really stretch it, with Squirrel Girl's passive, whenever a Young Avenger ally drops below 75%, she'll apply 2 deflect to that character. Miss Marvel will also gain deflect whenever she does her basic. So every time she assists, she's gonna gain a deflect, which if you have Maria Hill earlier on, you want to put together like a brawler team with Maria Hill can then provide some additional healing on those deflects whenever they block too. So if you wanted to go that direction, that's going way too hard or thinking way too much about it. But I definitely did at least want to mention that, just in case somebody was like, you didn't mention this. So therefore I mentioned it. All right. But yeah, that's it for me. We did have some honorable mention. Miles, another good character, part of the rework team, very early, easy, accessible to get. You can farm him in a hard node, or you can also just grab him from the Blitz store or open up Blitz orbs. That's kind of up to you in regards to how you want to do it. Lady Deathstrike just recently became farmable as well. She's in Mystic Chapter 3-6. She's a part of the Doom tech raid meta right now, so therefore there's some good options and some good value that you can get from her there. Like her kit too, the speed bar reduction. Miles, I like the speed. He has the speed bar reduction too, has some disrupts. So there's a lot of really good options there. Yeah, you could talk about maybe like Gamora and Nebula and Phyla-Vell. Those are some characters too that probably could have made this list, but I narrowed it down to what I did. And hey, what other characters probably could be added to this list that weren't already a part of this list? You let me know. What do you think about this list too? I want to know what you guys think there. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys being here. This was fun. This was fun for me. Hopefully you guys had some fun doing this as well. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe. Hit the notification bell too, so that you know when the videos do go live. And then until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. All right, bye.